going in. We are trying, we are not now consolidating it. We are in the process of consolidating it. We tell you what do we mean by consolidating? By going through whatever that has been expressed by the ascents, we make it a one line, and then from so many people we have received, so chapter wise we will split, and against every chapter, if we have received 3 or 4 or 5, that will be there in one line, one line, one line. The purpose is, by the time we reach the 12th chapter, up to 7 or 8 or 9, we might be able to get some one line impression that Bhagavad Gita has touched and kindled in so many minds. So we request again to keep on doing this, don't stop. And those who have not attempted so far may kindly attempt. Just like our Ligita Nama Yajna, recently when they organized, they specified the quantum as 80 lakhs, and it has now exceeded 2 crores. So similarly, we will start with 18. No, we thought 18 slokas we may get, but instead of that, it is going much more than that. So we request everybody to kindly apply their mind and give us. We will do the concising, condensing, and as far as possible, we will try to get one line from one chapter, the new one, apart from what we are discussing now. Is it clear to everybody? Yeah. Yes. So now we go to the 7th chapter. So before that, we thought, again we will have a quick review of the 6th chapter or 7th chapter we have. How to realize that Bhagavad Gita is a guide and map for a successful life. This is how we are approaching. In our introduction, this was the message given to us. It is a guide and map. So how do I know? When we go through the Bhagavad Gita, not in a piecemeal but in totality, as well as bringing our lives so far lived in retrospect, another aspect we want to again and again. This is not an academic exercise. We are trying to integrate the values which have been touched and kindled in us with our life so far lived, so that it gets integrated. The Gita has already entered into our life. So we try to bring our life in retrospect. That could make us understand the areas of improvement. I could have done this. I shouldn't have uttered like this. I shouldn't have thought like this. I shouldn't have acted like this. So these are the areas of improvement, Every now and then we go through the key points in Bhagavad Gita. First, chapter 1 enables us to observe the inner conflict welling up in our mind due to attachments. Previously, we were carried away by it, Now at least a detached view is slowly emerging after going through the chapter number 1. Chapter number 2, we become aware of our pitfalls that cloud our perception and judgments. We become aware of our pitfalls that cloud our perception and judgment. Again, in the same chapter, how a balanced mind ensures peace and handling everything smoothly, even in provocative circumstances. How all negativities get squared up. That is balanced mind. Dukkeshu anudvigamana sukheshu vikataspraha vigarada vayakrodha. How do I get myself detached from it? Something. Then samatvam yogam uchade, yoga karma kaushalam, all these things are points that well up when we go through the second. Dexterity in action is called yoga. Efficiency in action is called any action. Everywhere we try to, so there have been many times when we have lost the balance. Unknowingly or knowingly we have hurt the feelings. So now all these things, on second chapter it comes before me. Then third chapter, peace and harmony lie in refining our approach to activities. We try to convert every act as a karma yoga. Previously, it was self-centered activity or a desire-prompted activity. How we can improve that? Then fourth chapter, we start realizing that the unknown factor God has a say finally in all matters. We have been prompted to think, prompted to say, prompted to do so many things, but let us not take it as granted that will give us the answer. That unknown factor from where we started our life, it has the final say in everything. This we keep it in mind and start working so that there is no disappointment. And then fifth, there also, renouncing activity will not help if the mind is not refined. Because craving may be there, infatuation may be there, subtle desires will be there for fame, name, power, position. So when we keep it inside and then outwardly we renounce, it will not help. This is another point. Then, when God or love predominates in our action, we do not feel the hardships of an action. That also we try to integrate with our life so far lived. And then we understand, yes, we have all been blessed with that experience. So whenever this love dimension, God dimension is behind all our activities, we don't feel the heaviness of the action. Then, self-imposed disciplines do help in hitting the goal. Sixth chapter, Atma Samyama Yoga. If we have stood first in exams, if we have been successful in our interview and getting a right placement for us, like that there have been so many marked goals which we have scaled or which we have failed. But this one, we become aware, the commitment we had undertaken, the austerity we unknowingly went through, the moderation, concentrated effort, all these things have efforted. So the moment I think about sixth chapter, all these self-imposed restrictions. So wherever I have failed, it is because of lack of discipline. Wherever I have succeeded, it is because of adherence to the disciplines. Now we are in the seventh chapter. Seventh chapter is all are important, but we would like to insist ashram devotees, Papa's followers will definitely remember the seventh chapter more, because he says you go to the origin and the origin of the world. He is not tired of repeating the word root, origin, source. Always go to the source, go to the root, go to the source, go to the root. He always insists that. Papa is never tired of repeating these words. So this origin, which we normally now quote very often in our latest pamphlet, as well as when we interact with newcomers, we tell them what for this stands for. So we there, the Bijam Mam Sarva Bhudanam, all these things are there. So we will just read out the preamble, and this is called Jnana Vijnana Yoga. That very title itself is very thought-provoking. Knowledge and wisdom. This chapter is titled Jnana Vijnana Yoga. The term Jnana signifies the knowledge, while Vijnana represents applied knowledge, which can also be referred to as wisdom. Wisdom enables one to make sound judgments by drawing upon the lessons learned from experience. Mere possession of knowledge, however vast, is of little practical value unless it is transformed into wisdom. Wisdom is the illuminating glow that knowledge imparts to an individual, shaping their perspective and action. The true fulfillment of knowledge occurs only when an individual becomes a person of wisdom. While knowledge can be imparted through teachings, wisdom is an internal realization that cannot simply be given. It must emerge from within. Please think about it. Very, very important. Knowledge, we can, after some time we read, it gets registered, we can share it. It is only knowledge. But wisdom comes on our own. Mere possession of applied knowledge. This chapter is titled Jnana Vijnana Yoga. The term Jnana signifies knowledge, while Vijnana represents applied knowledge, which can also be referred to as wisdom. Wisdom enables one to make sound judgments by drawing upon the lessons learned from experience. Mere possession of knowledge, however vast, is of little practical value unless it is transformed into wisdom. Wisdom is the illuminating glow that knowledge imparts to an individual, shaping their perspective and actions. The true fulfillment of knowledge occurs only when an individual becomes a person of wisdom. While knowledge can be imparted through teachings, wisdom is an internal realization that cannot be simply given, it must emerge from within. The philosophical teachings in all religions serve as the foundation for imparting knowledge, while the instructional sections provide techniques that allow individuals to assimilate and internalize this knowledge. Through these practices, devotees can integrate these teachings into their inner lives. The ultimate aim of every religion is to create men of wisdom, individuals build their own potential, exemplified the essence of their faith, and become a source of blessing and inspiration for their generation. All Mahatmas, if they were to only convey to us the Shastras, nobody will hear. Initially we may hear. But when why we are continuing to hear him? Take in our case, Papa. Because it has come from his experience, wisdom. He is not sharing the knowledge he has. He is trying to share his experience. One example wells up just now. When we were in Wayanad, the estate management, a lot of laborers were there, unlike today. Many of them were unlettered. They have not even gone to the school. So, for example, immediately the rainy season starts, we will have a nursery for coffee plants as well as this pepper vines. Pepper vine cutting will be placed and it will be there. And as soon as the rain, the, the say by about after a month or two from the day the monsoon starts, we will tell them, please start planting the pepper vines on trees where there are no pepper vines. Supplies, we call it as supplies. So when we went there and told him to show him these 2-3 trees you plant, the worker, no? I told you he is an unlettered person. He bluntly on my face he said, we can't do this. I said, no, it's blank trees, No, it can't be done. Why do you say it can't be done? He says, now when we plant, it will grow, it will embrace, it will start growing, but the bark of the tree immediately gets affected by the white ants, and by the time this grows in 3 or 4 years, the white ants will have definitely loosened the bark from the tree, everything will fall down. With the result, we will not be able to take advantage of the crop. See this wisdom, no? We don't argue with him. This would not have struck to us, but he has observed. You follow what I said? Actually, the creeper should be like this, The creeper is intertwined with the bark of the tree. And if the bark of the tree gets detached from the main stem, the whole thing it cannot bear the weight of the pepper vine, and it will all, and then we have seen, that is why. And because of his sincerity, he did not stand on any formality. He will bluntly say, I cannot do this, I will not do it. We don't get offended because we know them. There must be a reason behind them. So it is not the knowledge, it is the wisdom. If we try to identify it immediately, there must be a reason why he says, I will not do it. And then he will reveal. And the beneficiary is whom? To him, he is a wage earner. He can say, I will do it, tomorrow let it be, so what? I am not affected. Not like that. So the philosophical teachings in all religions serve as the foundation for imparting knowledge, while the instructional sections provide practical techniques that allow individuals to assimilate and internalize this knowledge. Through these practices, devotees can integrate these teachings into their own lives. The ultimate aim of every religion is to create men of wisdom, individuals who have fulfilled their own potential, exemplified the essence of their faith, and become a source of blessing and inspiration for their generation. This chapter offers profound insights, encouraging introspection and self-awareness. It invites readers to delve deeply within themselves, to uncover the source of all creation, the divine force that animates the universe, and the intricate diversity of existence. Beautiful, no? It has covered the whole thing in the preamble. Introspection, self-awareness, uncover the source of creation, the divine force that animates the universe, and the intricate diversity of existence. Devotion to the Almighty Lord of the universe serves as the first stepping stone on this transformative journey. It is followed by the assimilation of eternal truths as expounded in the Shastras and their conscious application in daily life. Together, these steps guide us forward, guide toward the summit of our spiritual realization and the ultimate purpose of our existence. So very, very, very important for us. Now we go through the shlokas. 1, 2, and 3. The Lord explains how one's spiritual practices could help him to realize God. Out of the thousands only, one will be able to scale the heights. Out of 1,000. Lord himself says 6,000 years ago. Number 4, earth, water, fire, air, space, intellect, sense of individuality. These are my manifested Prakriti of the Apara type. Panchabhutas, Buddhi and Ahamkarta Ahankara, the sense of individuality. We try to understand now the Para and Apara, very important for all of us. The higher Prakriti, Para Prakriti, consists of life force, principle of intelligence and consciousness. Both these join together, the Jagat comes. Know that these two Prakritis are the womb of our being. Beyond me, there is nothing higher. All manifestation has strung in me like a row of pearls on a thread. Sutre Maniganayira. 8, 9, 10, 11. I am the taste in water, radiance in the moon and the sun, Om in all Vedas, sound in space, manhood in man, sweet fragrance in earth, brilliance in the fire, life in all beings, austerity in ascetics, the eternal seed, intellect of the intelligence, heroism of the hero, heroic, strength of the strong, free from sensual desire and attachment. All these things are covered in these 4 shlokas.
Swamiji?
Huh? Yes?
These are super 4.
Huh?
Super 4. These 4 are super 4. Super 4. Super 4.
Oh, you are not seeing it, no? We have not shown this, sorry. So we will repeat it from first. 1, 2 and 3. Seventh chapter. Knowledge and applied knowledge, Jnana and Vijnana. Knowledge and wisdom. What we hear when we try to assimilate, when we try to do manana, reflection, concentration, going deep within. And then based upon that, when we handle things, interact, what comes out? Our own experience. So knowledge and bookish knowledge or intellectual knowledge with experiential knowledge. That is what your Lord says. So the Lord explains how one's spiritual practices would help him to realize God. Out of the thousands, only one will be able to scale the heights. Here we feel, why did he make so? Normally, when we are in the pursuit of knowledge, we are habituated in objectifying everything and then trying to master it. But in the case of this spiritual knowledge, it is purely subjective, not objective. That is why even when we learn Shastras, suddenly it slips into an objective exploration. We try to understand the literal, so many other things, accepting which is the power which is making me to do that. So that is why it is the toughest. Objectifying and then exploring, that is something which we are used to in anything and everything. But to look back the power behind the eye, we have not tried. To look back the power behind the thinking, to look back the power behind the hearing, the smelling, the touching, the tasting, that we have not done, which is very tough. How is it that the words are now coming out? Where, from which power? Which is the power that activates our heart? Which is the power which makes us to feel now that we are sharing these thoughts? Which is the power that is responsible for bringing out all creature comforts, becoming aware of the five Panchabhutas, A dead body does not recognize. What is it in that body that recognizes it? So these are all subjective, highly subjective. That is why only in thousands, only one will be able to scale the heights. And what are these? The Jagat we see is it constituted of? The fourth and fifth. Earth, water, fire, air, space, intellect, sense of individuality. These are my manifold Prakriti in the apparatus. And then the Apara Prakriti consists of life force, principle of intelligence, consciousness. And sixth, know that these two Prakritis are the womb of our being. Here, one word of Papa guides us, He said in Thus Speaks Ramdas, those who have read in the first page, you will find the individual is the universal. So if we try to dissect or investigate into this individual, probably we may get some clue which will help us to stretch it beyond the individual. In all these five elements. Body is constituted of these five elements. The life force in it, the buddhi is there, the sense of individuality is there, the consciousness is there, intelligence is there. If we try to take this into our lab, our own, the individual, probably we might get some more idea about something which is beyond our individual. So he said the microcosm is the macrocosm. The individual is the universal. Please think about it. Beyond me, there is nothing higher. All manifestations string in me like a row of pearls on my thread. Sure.
Very small. Oh, it's not readable. It's not readable. We can't read it.
Huh?
We can't read it.
I didn't. Then, I am the taste in water, radiance in the moon and the sun, Om. The sweet fragrance in earth, brilliance in the fire, life in austerity in aesthetics, the eternal seed, intellect of the intelligence, Bijam Mam Sarvabhudanam Vidhi Partha Sanadanam Buddhir Buddhivadamasmi Tejas Tejas Vinamaham. And then the sensual desire in being unopposed to dharma, then Trigunas are in me, I am not in them. Trigunas are in me, but I am not in them. Passive, aggressive, and idle. Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. Deluded by these three gunas, world does not know me. That is why we are unaware of his presence. He is there behind us, I am unaware of his presence. Verily, this Maya of mine, constituted of the gunas, is difficult to cross over. Unless you devote themselves to me alone. Devi, Hesha, Gunamayi, Mama Maya, Duratya. Mameva Prabhadyande, Maya Medam Tarandide. So, we suppose we are carried away by this. Maya means, ignorance of his presence within us. That is called Maya. We are carried away by what is seen. But behind everything, there is one thing, there is one thing, there is one thing. I should keep on. It is a very tough job. Lord himself says, it is very difficult. Then, when the sense of individuality independent of me is predominant, when the sense of individuality independent of me is predominant, individuals
Control and press the lower.
always.
No, Swamiji, just press control 1 minute and press that lower one. Give him mouse. Press control.
Just you use this and
No.
move this little
This
space
one?
and yes.
Okay, 1 minute.
As
Done.
you like.
Yeah, done.
And then what you move
No.
with this little one. Yes, as you like.
Right. But whether that is okay.
It's okay, Swamiji, no problem.
When the sense of individuality independent of me is predominant, individuals do not devote to the Lord. When the sense of individuality independent of God, is predominant, individuals do not devote to the Lord. Because I don't him. I am not aware of his presence, so I am the only one there. Those who are devoted to me are of 4 types. Praise for relief from distress, praise for material prosperity, praise for knowledge, praise for him. Though all the 4 are noble, Jnani is dearest to him and supreme. Why he is a noble, At least they are coming to him, they have accepted him as the higher power. Artha, Artharthi, Jijnasu, Jnani. When I am in trouble, I cry to him. At least I realize that there is a higher power than me. That is why I am going and crying. So that is why he said that they are all right, noble, because they are not thinking that they can do by themselves. Arthi, Jnani and Jijnasu and Jnani. So these two are, who is noblest? Jnani is the dearest. The final culmination is the realization of all is in Him only. Those who realize this are very rare. Everything is willed by Him, everything is happening by Him, everything is in Him, everything has come from Him, everything is sustained by Him, everything goes back to Him. If this I keep on bringing this. But to realize this is very, very rare. Because the sense of individuality has been prompted to arrogate and to assume the role of doership, ownership, possessorship, sufferership. No. Those who indulge in sensual pleasures follow deities. This is another aspect covered here. We go and pray, no? None of us will go to the temple and ask for God realization. No. Artha and Artharthi will go there. This has been brought out by Lord Krishna himself. Initially, okay. Then later on, I will try to from the ephemeral to the eternal, from the transient one to the intransient one. I will move slowly, but this is very clear. Those who indulge in sensual pleasures follow devotees. Whatsoever form any devotee seeks to worship with Shraddha, I make it unwavering. The fruits of the same is dispensed by me alone. Another very important aspect. People may think, I am a devotee of Balaji, I am a devotee of Ayyappa, I am a devotee of Krishna, I am a devotee of Ram, I am a devotee of Devi, all these things. But he has assured us, whoever wants in whatever form, I will give them this. Yo yo yam yam tanur bhaktya shraddha. The only condition is shraddha. The sense of, dedication, attentiveness combined with dedication. So that also I will give. But these fruits are not long lasting. That is the only thing. And will not stuck there. Foolish regard me as come into manifestation, not knowing my supreme state. This deluded world knows not about the unborn and immutable me. We see people are born, everything is born, an animal is born, insect is born, a tree is born from a seed and it dies. So hardly we think about him, the power behind this. Through delusion of pairs of opposites, I am ever present, but people do not know me. He is with me, he has been with me, I am ever present, but people do not know me. We feel only our sense of individuality, We may go to temple, shastra, we may hear the satsang, we may go to ashrams, we may see Mahatmas, everything is there. Every day we may go to puja room, everything is there, but we hardly recognize that he is ever present in us. Through delusion of pairs of opposites, born of desire and hatred, all living creatures in this world are falling a prey to infatuation. Good, bad. Those who are free from desire and aversion, they worship me with steadfast devotion, they strive for immortality. The imperishable in the perishable, the unchanging in the changing. A seed is sown, it breaks, the seedling comes, becomes a plant, becomes a tree, and later on it dies, again giving a seed. But the creativity in the seed does not die. It is passed on like baton, Up to one stage, then it is handed over to somebody, like we are all born. We have come from that. Then now we say, this way we will start. We are here, We are born to our parents, parents were born to their parents, they were born to their parents, they were born to their parents. Like that we can go on repeating. But that which has been there right from the first source till through us now, that is unchangeable. We don't need any other evidence, Just think about this. Anybody who has got some little bit of agricultural background or plantation background will definitely see that. The seed sprouts, the seed dies, as it were. But the creativity in it, the potentiality in it is passed on. And finally the fruition comes. Again the seed comes. Self-propagation, So we were born to our parents, they were born to their parents, they were born to their parents, they were born to their parents. All of them have died, but I continue to exist. I will also die. Think. So those who are free from desire and aversion, they worship me with steadfast devotion, they strive for immortality, that which is undying. Those who know me, along with the Adibhudam pertaining to elements, Adi Devam pertaining to the sense organs, Adi Yajnam pertaining to the perceptions, will continue to know me even at the time of death with a steadfast mind. A well-known family, very known to us, who was with us for some time, boy was with us. They all moved to Bangalore. And his father, he may not say so many things about philosophy, spirituality, everything, but a great evolved soul. In his own way, he used to perform everyday puja. His wife died. After the obsequies were over, 13 days, function were over. 3-4 days later, he called all his sons. All children have come for the functions, He told them, don't get panicky, don't get worried. I feel my life's mission is over. So from today onwards, I will stop taking everything. Not out of frustration, out of fulfillment. And 3 days, he dropped the body. And he said, I am not the dropping. The life is still there. Life is being expressed. The encompassed one gets dropped. Just think about it. When we try to learn the seventh chapter is rich in this, We may not be able to take that step, but at least something toward that step. That when we feel our life has been fulfilled, and there is nothing more to gain, nothing more to perform. Suppose we are free from duties, responsibilities, commitment. If we feel, then we are telling, my job is over. You have made me to feel that my job is over. You gave me a human form. You made me to go through all these things. There were ups and downs, but you find, now sitting here now, when I look back, I find how every time you came and supported me and facilitated me to go through everything. And finally now you have made me to reach a stage where I feel fulfilled. Now because the body is getting aged, it is better the body is getting to be dropped. And in next chapter, he will elaborately discuss about what we should prepare before our death. Now itself we have to, because we don't know at that time whether we'll be thinking about all those things. Now itself we start thinking about it. Nobody is exempt from this, Vinobaji used to say, when you are born, the date of death has been fixed, inevitable. Though we want to avoid thinking about it, it will come. So here in this particular chapter, he is giving us this idea. Because it is immortal. Utpannamayadu nashikkum. In Malayalam they say, whatever that is produced it will deteriorate. Everything. We have seen that. We have attended many funerals, many death. But we have not been able to understand the depth behind that death. So the 7th chapter, that is why it's called wisdom, Jnana Vijnanam. Not that we should keep quiet now, uncreative. No, we will be dynamic. Till he makes us to feel that we have to discharge, he will make it dynamic. But at the same time, we will know. Just like, when we get into a train, when it has to reach the station, we prepare ourselves. We might have been enjoying the trip, but we drop everything and then get down. So many friendships we would have developed in the train, in our journey. But the moment we get down, bye-bye, that's all. We may not see them again. So like that, Papa used to say so many quotes. When the stage manager says your time is up, you don't look back, you just go. This is called death. We have been assigned with a definition, so we tried. So all these things are nice to hear, but to assimilate and make it a reality in our life, probably if we try now, it will help us. So this 7th chapter, luckily, it has got only 30 shlokas. Suppose we go deep into it. Normally we quote that Bijam Mam Sarvabhutanam Vidyapartha Sanadanam. That gives us I am the eternal seed of everything. From me everything has come. So none of us can arrogate the sense of individuality in us, the me and mine in us, which is now predominant in us now, cannot arrogate that it has started this life. The simple truth. So that's true, I am that. So God is behind my very birth. Previously we were thinking we are a product of our parents. Yeah, it is true. They are the instrumental cause, that's all. But they were also born to their parents. Today when we had our meal, we must have had some vegetables, pulses and vegetables and grains. All these has come from where? The first bean, the first tomato, the first what was today's? First ovaka, I don't know how to say in English. The small one. It's a creeper. Where from it came? From a seed. That seed has come from where? The fruit. Where has it come from? Again, it has come from a seed. Like that we can keep on telling. Unless we go to the Lord's word, I am the Bijam of everything. So when we open our eyes, we see not only us, our human creation, but the entire plant kingdom we see, the animal kingdom we see, the insect kingdom we see. He is the Bijam, he is the Bijam, he is the Bijam. So with this background, we will go through again. Now let us try to go to what is the learning. As we progress towards exclusive devotion to surrender, the challenges of multiplicity and contradictions often obstruct our path. Variety, If we have all come from one source, why this variety? To overcome these hurdles, the Lord unveils the intricate structure of the world, including its origins which give rise to illusions. An analogy can be drawn with an artist who paints diverse images on the same canvas with the same brush to evoke a variety of emotions. Here the eternal self represents the artist, while the eightfold Prakriti, comprising of five elements, mind, intellect and ego, symbolizes the brush, the paint and the canvas. To achieve purity of mind, several practices are recommended here, including yajna, dana, japa, tapa, dhyana, dana and dharana. All these practices require the support of bhakti. Bhakti involves the wholehearted engagement of the heart and soul in devotion to God. While activities serve as cleansing agent like soap, bhakti is akin to water. Both are essential and must work in harmony. That means only with water you cannot, only with soap you cannot. To a certain extent, water itself can clear, not with soap. So bhakti is the water. All other things are like soap. So if bhakti does not go with all these pointed out factors, it will be. Bhakti means what? Bringing in the God dimension in our heart. To love Him is bhakti. Not a particular form. It can be through a form or it can be on a formless. So suppose we think about Puri, Jagannatha Puri, Lord Jagannath. Jagannath means Lord of the universe. Impersonal. The impersonal is, it cannot come to us directly, so through a deity, that's all. So bhakti means, Papa's bhakti is not centered on a particular deity, but bhakti is to the Lord, who is indwelling Lord. Indwelling and all-pervading Lord. So this bhakti must be there at the start. That is why when he explains about a spiritual journey, he will say, bhakti is the root, vairagya is the trunk, jnana is the flower, parabhakti is the fruit. So from root to the fruit, bhakti to parabhakti, in between vairagya and jnana play the role. So bhakti is the root start. That means recognition of a higher power and dedicating ourselves and trying to understand, trying to dedicate, trying to recognize the existence of that power. All these things can come under the bhakti factor. So that is the first one. While all these practices require the support of bhakti, bhakti involves the wholehearted engagement of the heart and soul in devotion to God. Among the four types of bhakti, the most cherished by the Lord are those whose heartfelt longing is to end their sense of separation, to be embraced by Him, to become one with the Divine. That is the final. To become one with Him. So this is the man of perfection, as envisioned in the science of Vedanta. He is not only spiritually fulfilled, but is also a master of himself in every situation. He remains a dynamic force, capable of influencing the world around him, while embodying serenity and self-mastery at all times. This is the outcome of the vijnana, wisdom. A man of perfection, a man of wisdom, as envisioned in the Vedanta, is not only spiritually fulfilled, but is also a master of himself in every situation. He remains a dynamic force, capable of influencing the world around him, while embodying serenity and self-mastery at all times. So this is how our Vande Bharat Yatra in 7th chapter ends. We will try to move to the 8th tomorrow, which is also Akshara Brahma Yoga, the imperishable Atman. And there also the perishability of the body is highlighted. We'll take it. So, and again before we close, we'll just go to the points. So first chapter enabled us to observe the inner conflict welling up in our mind due to attachments. Then Second chapter, we become aware of the pitfalls that cloud our perception and judgments. How a balanced mind ensures peace and handling everything smoothly. Third chapter, peace and harmony lie in refining our approach to activities. Fourth chapter, we start realizing the unknown factor God has as a say finally in all matters. Again, fourth chapter, renouncing activity will not help if the mind is not refined. Fifth chapter, love, when God love predominates in our actions, we do not feel the hardships. Sixth chapter, self-imposed disciplines do help in hitting the goal. Seventh chapter, we get some idea of our origin and the factor providing us everything. And we get some clarity about the varied manifestation. So, try to remember one line, so that the moment we remember about that chapter, we get connected to it. Forget about Mahabharata, Lord Krishna, Arjuna, everybody. Only we are there, the Lord is there. The allegory, Mahabharata is taking place in our mind. Lord of the universe is the indwelling reality. Arjuna, the sense of individuality. Kauravas and Pandavas are the down-pulling and elevating forces in our mind. Kurukshetra is the battlefield inside and outside, our inner life and outer life. So when we take this and we try to understand, so first we understand Mahabharata, then we try to understand the points through which we make an evaluation of ourselves. The Arjuna in us is trying to get cleared of many doubts, so that in the next chapter is a beautiful word will come. Remembering me, fight the battle of life. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmar yuddhacha. In all places, at all times, remember me and fight the battle of life. That is the crux of 8th chapter. We will go to that tomorrow. Hari Om. Before we close, we repeat our request. Those who have already done and those who have already contributed can do again the plumbing. By the time we enter the 18th chapter, we must have had a good collection of shlokas. Not somebody telling somebody, each one picking out what is good, what is it that strikes to me. As we go through these chapters, something will be there, something will be there, something will be there. So nobody stop. Those who have sent, let them not stop. Let them keep on identifying as many as possible, and we will try to filter it and then put it in one line. And at the end of it, we can see in how many chapters, in how many slogas, we have got a variety of impressions and reactions in us. That will help us. We pool all together. It's a collective study, and it will help us a lot. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Hari Om to everybody. Are we trying to enter into Gita? Trying, na? Slowly from the shelf it is coming out. Okay. Hari Om. Hari Om.